अभी क्यों बात नहीं बस 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 એટલું બધું નહીં ખેંચ બસ જય જિનેન્દ્ર हरिहंत सिद्ध सुर उपाध्याय साधु सर्व अर्थ के प्रकाशी मांगलिक उपकारी है तिनको स्वरूप जानी रागते भई जो भक्ति काय को नमाय स्तुति को उच्चारी है धन्य धन्य तुम्ही से काज सब आज भयो कर जोरी बारंबार वंदना हमारी है मंगल कल्याण सुख ऐसो हम चाहते हो मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है ओ मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है So welcome to the second lecture and if we see from the syllabus point of view, we are going to start from Balbodh 1 today. Today is Dhanya Teras, Dhan Teras, what we call in Lokik. Actually, it is Dhanya Teras. Why it is Dhanya? Why it is good? Because tomorrow, Bhagwan Mahavir Swami, our last Tirthankar, 24th and the last Tirthankar, will attain moksha, salvation. Okay. So that is the anniversary that we celebrate. So on this day, 2550 years ago, okay, Bhagwan Mahavir Swami attained moksha, and today is the last day Divya Dhvani stopped. So initially, when he attained omniscience knowledge, the Divya Dhvani was not coming out for 66 days. And then Indra realized that there is no Gandhar, because Gandhar has only the capacity to understand the sermons of a Tirthankar. So then Indra went to Indrabhuti Gautam. He was a great scholar in Vedanta and he had 500 disciples also. So this Indra posed a make himself like a Brahmin and ask few questions to Gautam Gandhar. He was not aware of the answer and he never thought this kind of questions also. So he thought whose disciple is so intelligent, how intelligent would be a guru? So Gandhar is the chief of the congregation of a Tirthankar. He is the one who decimates the sermon and then he passes on to other acharyas. So basically Gandhar is also a monk. Okay, he is also a monk and he is the chief preceptor. Okay, there were 12 preceptors of Bhagwan Mahavir Swami, but Gautam Gandhar was the chief. So when he went to the Samosaran, the holy assembly, he saw the man's thumb and he was thinking himself to be the greatest scholar. But the moment he saw the man's thumb, he thought, oh, there is somebody else also who is above me. And then, of course, he became a Jain and he became the chief preceptor of Mahavir Swami. So within a span of few minutes, he acquired those right knowledge and everything in few minutes because he was already prepared. But because of delusion karma, because of the effect of delusion karma, he was not able to realize himself. And when he came to this holy assembly and saw Bhagwan Mahavir and that, Vitragi Mudra, and suddenly the transformation happened and he became the chief perceptor. And then only the Divya Dvani started. And then it went on for 12 years. And not 12 years, 30 years. 42, at 42, he attained omniscience knowledge, and up to 72. For 30 years, this sermons, he went to different places and he got many people to convert into Jainism, and he did a great job in spreading Jainism. And still today, we are all a part of that community only. The last Tirthankar is supposed to be, called the leader of our Jain sect. So there has been no Tirthankar after Bhagwan Mahavir. So we are all under Bhagwan Mahavir only. Before that, Parshvanath was the leader. So everyone used to say that we are a Bhakt of Parshvanath. But now, Bhagwan Mahavir is the last one, and we are all disciples of him only. Okay. So this today's Dhanya Teras was the last day of that divine sound, and then it stopped. And tomorrow, not tomorrow, tomorrow is 14th, matlab Kali Chaudas. And on the night of Chaudas, that is early morning, at 5 o'clock, he attained salvation. And the same day, in the evening, Gautam Gandhar got omniscience knowledge. So after Mahavir Swami, Gautam Gandhar went to salvation. Then Sudharmacharya went to salvation. And then the last was Jambu Swami. Then nobody had attained salvation. Okay. So these were the last three people. And so we celebrate Diwali as a Veer Nirman Divas. Okay. Veer Nirman Divas, that is the liberation of Bhagwan Mahavir Swami on that day. So on this festival, we do remember the kind of situation he was in and from where he rose and the struggles he undertook, and he never forgot his ambition or aim in life, and he went on to become a Tirthankar also. So it's a very auspicious day for us, a day of inspiration. We should celebrate this day as a day of inspiration, just like Bhagwan Mahavir Swami went to salvation. We are also going to follow in his footsteps, and we are also going to achieve liberation in future, in the near future, I would say, because in these kind of times, those people who are able to have access to this true knowledge, true God and true scriptures is itself very rare. And among those who have got access to this true God, true scriptures and true Guru, very few people gets connected to this kind of studies. And even there are people who wants to study this kind of, scriptural studies, but they are not getting any chance. So we are the privileged one and lucky one to have access, not only to have access, but also getting an opportunity to study deep. And initially it was Prakrit language wherein the scriptures were written. Then subsequently it was in Sanskrit, and then it was in some kind of Hindi, Khadi Boli Hindi we call it. And then subsequently we went to pure Hindi, and now it has been translated to many other languages like Gujarati, English, Tamil, many other languages, and not only Indian languages, but even in German, Japanese, and many other, languages. So the struggle, we would remember this day as a day of the struggle that Mahavir Swami underwent, and that we learn from those struggle, and we will also make ourselves mentally prepared for this struggle, and we have liberation in our sight as our aim, as our destination, and we are not going to stop before that. This is the you can say this is the promise that we are going to make to ourselves. Okay. And every 6 months and 8 samay, 608 people gets liberated every 6 months. You can say that liberation is not possible now here. So it is not possible here, but there are other regions around the universe, Mahavidya Kshetra, where there is a Tirthankar always. There are 20 Tirthankars there, and there people are going moksha. So it may not be where we stay is Bharat Kshetra. It is called Bharat Kshetra. And this whole world, the geographical world, it's only a small part of that Bharat Kshetra. It's very huge, beyond our imagination. And this is all that we have listened to in the sermons of a Tirthankar. And that's how we know the three worlds and everything, which is beyond our imagination, are all seen by omniscience, and they have only related this to us. So that tradition has come from Tirthankar to Gandhar, Gandhar to other acharyas to other acharyas. So this chain keeps on going on. And earlier it was mouth to mouth passing of knowledge, but at some point of time there were no takers. So Acharya Darshan thought that if we don't keep this knowledge alive, then our religion will get extinct. So he had this thought that let's get it written down. And that's where the first scripture by the name of Shat Khandagam was written by Acharya Pushpadant and Acharya Budbali, two disciples of Acharya Darshan. And from there on, the writing of the scriptures started. So it was around 583 years after Bhagwan Mahavir Swami went to moksha or liberation. Okay. So exactly after 583 years, it was passing through word to word, mouth to mouth only. And then subsequently there were no takers. So Acharya started writing it. And with those scriptures, we are now able to connect this kind of knowledge. Otherwise, how would we have got this knowledge? So it is that tradition coming on. And, there were people in between who did special kind of service to this Jain tradition. From time to time, there were people like that. And they not only did their own development, but at the same time, the thought of people who will come in future generations. So they wrote this book, and that's how we have got this knowledge. So today is an auspicious day, and we'll be starting our studies today itself. The first class was an introduction, and still there are few people who have joined in today. We will get them introduced in the end. And now we will start. What is the importance of scriptures? Swadhyay ki Mahima. I've shared this clips. So, Leena ji, you can share it on the screen. I will make you a co-host. I will also make Urja ji a co-host also. 1 minute, huh? Yeah. So I have made you a co-host. You can share the screen. So I've shared 10 points on the importance of scriptural knowledge.
Okay, yeah, just give me.
And I have also made Urja ji also a co-host.
I'll just join in by another ID and then I will share.
Okay. Yeah. So there are 10 points in all. So what is the ultimate fruition of this scriptural knowledge? What benefit we are going to derive by doing this systematic study? So we should know what we are going to get. Then it makes us more sincere to our purpose, Look at the magnificence of scriptural study. Such a study ensures the traditional evolution of self-experience. So what is this self-experience? This self-experience is realizing our own self, okay? Experiencing our own self. You wanted to ask something?
Yeah, like there is another Leena. Can you make that also a co-host? I will be sharing through that ID.
Okay. How do I know? I have only one Leena on the list. 1 minute. Huh? Okay, 1 minute. I have one more. Yeah. You can now close the first one if you want. Okay. So, such a study ensures the traditional evolution. English one, yeah. Such a study ensures the traditional evolution of self-experience. So the path of liberation begins with this self-experience. Okay. So we may study, we may remember many things, we may have knowledge of different scriptures also. But unless and until we attain self-realization or self-experience, the journey doesn't start, So our first and foremost priority would be to achieve self-experience. So this is the first step in the path of liberation. And it leads to the realization of liberation. So we begin with self-experience and end at liberation. And this whole is the journey on the path of liberation. And this is something we are looking at for this kind of studies. Additionally, scriptural study brings about the following immediate advantages. Okay. So the traditional fruit is self-experience and the liberation. But immediately what we get? So these are the 10 points. It tempers passions like anger. Like passions, anger, pride, deceitfulness, greed, laughter. These are all passions. Okay. So it tempers passions like anger, etc. So tempers means it reduces. The passions become mild. Earlier it was intense. From intense, it turned to mild. When? When we get into this kind of scriptural studies. Okay. The second point, it halts the soul's engagement in the pleasure of the five senses. So obviously, we can be active at one place at a time. Our knowledge is such that we can concentrate on one thing at a time. So now we are engaging ourselves in the scriptural studies. So obviously our TV has stopped, our music had stopped, our taste have stopped, everything other have, we are not engaging in sensual activities. Okay. So it halts the soul's engagement in the pleasures of the five senses. It enables the wavering mind to concentrate. This can be seen. It's increasing day by day. The mind is getting wavering. 25, 50 years ago, life was very simple. There was not so much of tension and complexities in life. But now the mind is becoming wavering and wavering. People are, constantly changing their opinion and changing their thoughts and changing their understanding. So the mind is not able to concentrate. So this study, when we get into scriptural studies, our thoughts are all at one place. And because of that, we are able to concentrate. So this scriptural study enables our wavering mind to concentrate, to calm down, to actually realize. Now, if you see water in a pond, due to the light breeze, it's always moving. So if you want to see your face in that, you will not be able to see because the water is moving. But if the water is still, then you can see your face clearly. Are you getting to me, Karanji? Okay. So if you don't understand anything at any place, just stop in and ask. So, so if you see a still water, you can see your face very clearly. Okay. Similarly, when we get into this kind of scriptural studies, our whole energy gets channelized and we are able to focus more. We are able to understand more and our mind also gets concentrated. So chanchal man bhi ekagra ho jata hai. The fourth one, it prevents the manifestation of the five sins such as violence and others. So what are these five sins? Anybody know? Name of the five sins?
झूठ, चोरी, हिंसा,
Yeah.
and parigrah.
Yes.
And fifth one is I'm not able to recall.
Kushil.
Yeah.
So hinsa is violence, jhoot is falsehood, hinsa, jhoot, chori. Chori is theft. Then kushil is adultery. Okay. And the last one is parigra, possession. So these are the 5 sins. So it prevents. So when you get involved in this kind of spiritual studies, automatically you are not involving any kind of violence now. It is violence, not non-violence. Non-violence is opposite of violence. Non-violence is ahimsa. Violence is hinsa. Okay. So hinsa, jhoot, chori, kushil, and parigraha. Next one. While our current knowledge is limited, there are 5 types of knowledges. Mati Gyan, Shrut Gyan, Avdi Gyan, Mana Paryay Gyan, and Keval Gyan. Out of these 5, Mati Gyan is called sensory knowledge. Shrut Gyan is called scriptural knowledge. Avdi Gyan is called clairvoyance. Mana Paryay Gyan is called telepathy. And Keval Gyan is called omniscience. Okay. So our current knowledge is limited. So which knowledge do we have? Can anyone guess? Out of these 5, which one we are having right now?
Mati Gyan.
Shruti Gyan.
Mati and
Oh.
Shrut both. Okay. So Mati and Shrut, out of 5, Mati and Shrut are indirect knowledge. Okay. Because the knowledge quality is, knowledge attribute is in the soul. Okay. But now it can know only through the eyes, ear, touch sense, then nose and taste. Okay. These are the 5 senses through which the knowledge passes. So these are the 5 mediums, and then there is of course mind, man. So through these 6 mediums, the knowledge passes. And we are able to know things through these 6 senses only. We are not able to see anything directly from the soul surface, But the other 3 knowledge, clairvoyance, telepathy.
Even breaking in between.
Pardon?
The connection is not proper in my phone, or your voice is breaking in between.
Anybody else voice is breaking? You can hear
No,
my voice breaking?
No, I think it's only her.
Working for me.
Oh, so it's your problem at your internet problem at your end, Sometimes the Wi-Fi does create a problem, but today mine Wi-Fi is perfect. I'll just put in this earphone so it will be more clear. Okay, so out of these 5 knowledge, 2 are direct, that is Mati and Shrut. Mati is sensory knowledge and Shrut is scriptural knowledge. The other 3 are direct knowledge, Direct, they are knowing without the help of any senses and mind. They are directly knowing from the soul surface. And these are clairvoyance, Avdi Gyan, telepathy is Mana Paryay Gyan, and omniscience is Keval Gyan. So these 3 are direct, out of which these 3, clairvoyance and telepathy, are partially direct, and omniscience is completely direct. But Mati and Shrut are indirect knowledge. So we have this limited knowledge. While our current knowledge is limited, the study of scriptures allows one to acquire knowledge about various substances in the 3 worlds across 3 eras. So 3 worlds, Adolok, Madhyalok, and Udolok. Okay. So these 3 loks are there, and across 3 eras. Across 3 eras means past, present, and future time. Okay. Past, present, and future time are the 3 eras. So this omniscience can see all the material with its attributes and modification of all the three worlds and across three eras at the same time. That is the capacity of omniscience knowledge. But we are not having omniscience knowledge, but through the scriptures, because the scripture is what? The scriptures is nothing but it has come directly from the omniscience knowledge only. Okay. So through these scriptures, we are able to know about these things. So there is measurement given of everything. How much is the Adolok, how much is Madhyalok, how much is Udalok, and how much is Sumeru Parvat and all. There are many, many things. Measurements are also given. It can be so accurate, which is quite unbelievable to the people who believe in modern science, So the science that has been conveyed to us by our omniscience is something very special. Next point, number 6, it provides insight into what should be embraced and what should be renounced. क्या है क्या उपादेय है, क्या छोड़ने लायक है, क्या ग्रहण करने लायक है. So it provides insight. So whatever you study, you should always come to this conclusion that what should be embraced and what should be renounced. Then next one, 7th one, it directs consciousness towards the self. What is this consciousness? This consciousness is upyog, and upyog means gyan and darshan. Gyan is knowledge and darshan is perception. Okay. So it directs consciousness, means knowledge, towards the self. So this knowledge was getting involved in external things. Okay. And there are many, many external things. There is no end to it. And this soul, because of delusion from time immortal, believes that happiness will come from these sensory objects. And that's why to acquire those sensory objects, he's putting in efforts, to earn money and then spend it on these 5 sensed objects, and then he feels that he will be happy. But happiness is not there. Our attribute of happiness does not lie in any of the external things. So how we can be happy by consuming the external things, by possessing the external things? We can never be happy. But because of delusion, we feel that we will be happy. Okay. So the consciousness or the upyog, which has been concentrating on external objects since time immortal, now that same consciousness is binding inwards. Okay. It directs consciousness towards the self. So this transformation is very, very important. And because to get this transformation, we are doing scriptural studies. You have to train your active consciousness to tilt, inclined towards the self. However, it had been inclining in external factors only from time immortal for the just for the sake of finding, happiness. But never he became happy, never he experienced real happiness. So with the scriptural studies, our active consciousness transforms from external things to inward into our soul. So that is the main part, in the path of liberation. So we have to just harness our active consciousness to move it, incline it towards the self. Number 8 point, as knowledge increases, happiness proportionally increases as well. So knowledge and happiness are always together. It cannot happen that you have got the right knowledge, but happiness is not there. So happiness and right knowledge are always there. So as we move further from ignorance and move towards right knowledge, we get to know new concepts through the scriptural studies. And while knowing new concepts, the knowledge gets more clear. So there were some ambiguities, there were some doubts in our knowledge. And as we continue to study the scriptures, our doubts get cleared, our ambiguities become clear, So as knowledge increases, the happiness proportionally increases as well, Happiness and knowledge go hand in hand. So the sole purpose of our getting into this kind of scriptural knowledge is only that we want to experience happiness. Every soul strives to be happy in this universe. So whatever activities that a soul undergoes, or a mundane existence undergoes, is just for the only purpose to get happiness. That is the only objective you can say for indulging in any kind of activities. So as knowledge increases, happiness proportionally increases as well. Number 9, it bestows fame and glory in the world. So basically, if you consider or if you analyzed the different kinds of desire among the mundane existence, you will realize that people are after money, people are after power, and people are after fame. These three are the main thing for which the whole universe, you can say, is after it. But this scriptural knowledge bestows fame and glory. You will automatically get everyone will be praising you, when you study the scriptures. And if you are able to apply these principles into your day-to-day life, you will be appreciated from all angles. You will have a different approach to life. You will have a different approach to each and every problem. So of course your fame and glory will increase in this world. But we are not into it. We are not after that. We are not after money. We are not after fame, and we are not after power. Our only and only objective is to attain happiness, to experience ourselves, to realize ourselves, and get liberated. Last point, it results in the accumulation of auspicious karma. So you can add one word here. It results in the accumulation of special type of auspicious karma. Satisai punya. In Hindi it is written Satisai punya, but while translating this word special, and special type of, it's not ordinary. Even if you feed food to a dog, it will bind auspicious karma. But it's not this. This is a special types of auspicious karma which serves as desired instrumental causes that aid in the journey toward liberation. So this is that type of auspicious karma, the fruition of which will bring desired instrumental causes. Instrumental causes means nimit, So it will bring those instrumental causes that are conducive to our path of liberation. Okay? Our path of liberation. So this is a special type of auspicious karma. So these are the 10 benefits that you realize immediately when you engage yourself in this kind of scriptural study diligently, diligently, seriously, sincerely, with interest. Therefore, one must wholeheartedly commit to the study of scriptures. So these are all the benefits that you are going to fetch, when every time you sit for this kind of scriptural studies. So the traditionally it will lead to self-realization and liberation, but immediately these are the benefits that you are going to get. So whatever good things that we have got in life, that is just because of auspicious karmas. And whatever we are receiving adverse situation in our life, that is because of the rise of inauspicious karma. So in the outside world, it is all the fruition of auspicious and inauspicious karma. Punya and pap ka phal mil raha hai. But the efforts that you will put in here to understand the scriptures, to understand your own soul, that is going to, fetch you special type of auspicious karma. And while our purpose is to attain passionless state and liberation, but while doing that, the auspicious karma automatically binds. And again, you, when it comes into fruition, you get all the instrumental causes that are required in the journey towards liberation. So it's all kind of a win-win situation from here. When you are putting yourself into scriptural studies, this is the best thing that can be done on this universe and in this life. Because by studying the scriptures, we will be knowing the tricks, how to practice discriminative knowledge, Ved Gyan. So two things are different. We don't have to do it different, it's already different. But we consider it as one because of our ignorance, because of delusion, Body and soul are two things, two different things. But we consider ourselves as body. So there is no two things. We believe that this is one thing. Soul and body are one thing, but it is not that. So because of wrong knowledge, because of ignorance, because of wrong faith, we believe two things as one. And when we realize that these two things are two different things, they are not one, that is the time we acquire right knowledge. And with this right knowledge comes the right faith, and then you are able to see two things differently. It were different only. It were not the same or the one. It were different only previously also, but we considered it to be one. That was the problem. So now as you study scriptural knowledge, your delusion gets gradually reduced, and there comes a time when this delusion gets off, and that is the time you attain right faith or samyak darshan, or the self-realization, self-experience. You can, and that is the beginning of the path of liberation. So with this purpose in mind, we are starting this study, and the first thing that we are going to take up in studies is Bal Bodh Part 1. I have shared the books with you in English. So are you able to understand what I'm trying to communicate? Labdi?
Jai Janendra, sir.
Yeah. Janvi,
Jai Janendra, sir.
you can make out, no?
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. So we'll begin with Namokar Mantra, the first chapter. And this book was written primarily for kids, those who are in the age range of 5, 6 to 8 years. And since then, nobody else have tried anything better, So this is going on and on. And so this chapter is basically written for the purpose of kids. But we will not limit our knowledge up to the kids' knowledge only. We will get into some extra knowledge on the same thing, and which will be useful for us to, put it in practice in our day-to-day life also. So Namokar means salutation or obeisance, respect, and mantra means a prayer that is chanted or sung, a hymn or a religious formula. And this mantra is very powerful. It has religious, it has magical, and it has spiritual power.
I should share the screen or
Yeah, you should share. So maybe some of you may not be having books with you. And today, Apurvaji is supposed to share with us, the forms are getting in a new format, book ordering forms and some other formalities are to be done. So I checked with him last week only. So he said there are some corrections to be made in that. So he'll be sharing with us or I will ask him to share with you. So once you get it, you can share it in the group and people will order books, immediately. So sometimes it may take a week or 10 days time in India. But sometimes nowadays they are sending through courier and it comes very fast. Last week only I ordered some books and within 3 days I got the books through courier. So now it's getting faster through couriers. Otherwise, earlier they were sending through post and it used to take at least 10-15 days. So this is for the people who are in India, but those who are staying abroad, they will take some further time. And so anyways, you order in this week only. So earlier we get the books, the better. But this Balbodh is not part of our syllabus, but still we are beginning from the basics because there are few people who don't know anything about Jainism. So we always start from the basics. So even if you know about the basics, it will be a revision for you. And those who don't know about the basic, they will not miss out on anything. So this Namokar mantra is the first chapter and it's a prayer or that is chanted or sung that we have seen now. This mantra was composed, I told you some 583 years, but actually it is 683 years. Just correct it. It is 683 years after the liberation of Sri Mahavir Swami. Okay. So this was composed 683 years after the liberation of Mahavir Swami. So approximately it is around 2,500 years ago. Not 2,500, but 1,900 years ago. Okay. It was written first time as
Excuse me, what they say is this is Anadi mantra, no? So what does that mean?
Yeah. That we are coming to that. Special features on Namokar mantra. We call it as Maha mantra, we call it as Mul mantra, and we call it as Anadi Nidan mantra. So there are logics to each, but I'm coming step by step. Okay. So this was first written, this was written first time as the invocation of blessings of the oldest Jain scripture, Shat Khandagam. So just now I shared you that Shatagam is the first scripture that has been written, by Acharya Pushpadant and Acharya Bhutbali, disciples of Acharya Dharsen. There is a story to it, which is a very good story. So someday I will recite that story in some other context, but not now. So this is basically a Manglacharan of Shatkhandagam Granth. This is written in Prakrit language. Which language? Prakrit language. So this is the language that was prevailing there. Then later on, Sanskrit came, and then the Khadi Boli Hindi, and then the modern Hindi. So over a period of time, so now we are studying in English, So earlier it was not possible, but still there were always some people who are been brought up in, say, a foreign country. They may not be knowing Hindi or Gujarati or any other Indian languages. So this were written in English, translated in English. The quality of translation is not that good, but we have to manage. There is no other choice. But presently it is being translated into, there is a team working on this translation. So we don't have all the books in English right now, but for initial few years, we have everything in English. So by the time we reach the third year, those books will get translated. And even if it doesn't get translated, I can read Hindi and explain you in English. Okay. So that is the last resort that we have to take. But by all probability, we will have the books, because there are 2 or 3 batches ahead. They are studying in English. So for them, these books are being prepared. It has got 35 letters and 58 vowel diacritic, 35 akshar and 58 matraye. So akshar is letters and matraye is vowel diacritic. It is called Mahamantra. Why it is called Mahamantra? There are 3 reasons for that. Mahamantra means great. Maha means great. It's a great mantra. Why? The first reason is, in this mantra, there has not been any demand that is being made. There is not anything that is being asked here. Okay. So that makes it a Maha Mantra. The second reason is, in this mantra, salutation has not been conferred upon a particular or a specific individual, but we are praising or praying to the post. These are the post: Aryant, Siddha, Acharya, Upadhyay, Sadhu. These are post and not any particular person. So इसमें व्यक्ति विशेष को नमस्कार नहीं किया गया. No specific individual has been saluted here. The third reason and the final reason is, all the sacred persons have been included in this Namokar mantra. So all those sacred persons whom we should bow to, who are being respected by us, this includes everything. Okay. So this all 3 reasons makes this mantra a Maha Mantra, great prayer. The second feature is a Mool Mantra. Why it is called a Mool Mantra? Because all other mantras have been derived from this mantra. So this is the Mool Mantra. Mool means the main mantra. The third one is the Anadi Nidan mantra. Anadi Nidan. Anadi Nidan means eternal. The one which does not have a beginning, the one which does not have an end is called eternal. And eternal means Anadi Nidan. अनादि मतलब जिनकी कोई स्टार्टिंग नहीं है, अनादि जिसकी कोई स्टार्टिंग नहीं है, आदि नहीं है जिसका कोई स्टार्ट नहीं है, अनादि. एंड अंत और निधन. निधन मीन्स एंड. नो स्टार्टिंग, नो एंड is Anadi Nidan. So this is an eternal mantra or Anadi Nidan mantra. Why? Because the Panch Parmestis, the 5 Parmestis, Parmesti, what do you mean by Parmestis? Param Padme East. Okay. So those who have acquired the 5 supreme posts are called Paramestis, and they are 5 in number, so they are called Panch Parmestis. Because Panch Parmestis are in existence since time eternal and will continue till eternity, so this mantra is also eternal. So these 5 Parmestis are in existence since when? From time eternal. So since these are in existence since time eternal, and this mantra is saluting them, saluting the 5 Parmestis. So these 5 Parmestis are since time eternal. So this mantra is also from time eternal. Okay. So you can ask me one question, that just now you said that this was first time written as the invocation of
Exactly.
Shatkhandagam Granth. So this is in context with the present era. Just now we said that it has been 2550 years Mahavir Swami went to liberation. Okay. So in the present era, we don't have this Aryant and Siddh right now here in Bharat Kshetra. But in Videsh Kshetra, there are Aryant, there are Tirthankars over there, and there are Acharyas, Upadhyayas and Sadhus also there. And in fact, Sadhu is supposed to be here till the end of this 5th era. We are into the now 5th era. 2550 years has passed, but still this is 21,000 years. So only 2500 years has passed. So still a long way to go, and the scripture says that there will be true monks up to the end of this era. But as of now, we are not able to recognize any monks as to be the truest now. Okay. So there are some checking parameters, and through that we can check, but we don't rule out the possibility. Okay. Our knowledge is very limited. We are into a very limited area on this earth, and there are, deep jungles where, beyond our imagination, if you go towards Rishikesh and Himalayas and all, so there are deep jungles, and so deep that all the plantation, because of all the plantation, it has been covered as such, if they don't see the sun for, many days they could not see the sun also, because it has been so densely occupied by trees. So there are different kinds of jungles, and there are people residing there, Rishi Munis and all, with having some magical powers and all, and they are always into their sadhana and aradhana only. And this kind of things we have heard from mouth to mouth, but we have never been to those places. But even if you, like in a city like Bombay, we have this national park here, Sanjay Gandhi National Park. It is estimated that it is around 18,000 hectares, square hectares. It's a very huge area. So if you enter from one end, Borivali, and if you go deep, you end up, getting out near Ghatkopar. So it's a very long area. And if you go just 4 or 5 kilometers, many people go for morning walks there in the morning. And if you walk through 3-4 kilometers, you will see that there are Adivasi people, small villages, and still there is no electricity. So right now in the heart of Bombay, you can see this kind of situation, and so there is no reason that we need to believe that there must be true monk somewhere, and it is our bad luck that we are not having access to it. But the scripture says that this kind of monks will be there till the end of this 5th era. So this is a Anadi Nidan mantra, eternal mantra, because the 5 Parmestis are in existence since time immortal, and will continue till eternity. So the mantra, praying them, respecting them, saluting them, is obviously also eternal. Okay, so these are the logics. Now there is one more thing that I will mention you here only. This is about the last. There are 5. Namo Aryantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Ayariyanam, Namo Uvajjayanam, Namo Loye. Now this Loye means Lok me. Okay. Sauva Saunam. So Lok me Sarva Sadhuo ko Namaskar ho. So this Lok me, no, this is called Anta Deepak. Anta Deepak in Hindi literature. That means that it is applicable to previous other statements also. So this Deepak can be Anta Deepak also. This Deepak can be Madhya Deepak also. And this Deepak can be Adi Deepak also. So if it is an Adi Deepak, the other stanzas that are following, that can also be added to that. If it is a middle Deepak, then some area before and some post after that, the same word is applicable. So here, Namo Loye Sauva Saunam, it is written on the last line itself, but it is applicable to previous 4 also. So you can say like this: Namo Loye Arhantanam, Namo Loye Siddhanam, Namo Loye Airyanam, Namo Loye Uvajjanam, Namo Loye Sauva Sahunam. Okay. So first of all, it is Namo. You can see in the Hindi, it is written as Namo. Okay. Lakshana, na, that na is here. It is not na. So many a place you will see that they write Namo. but this is the correct, this is in Prakrit, and that Namo, that Na they write is in Hindi. Okay, so this is the correct one, Namo Orientanam. So now we can add this post of Lok me Savva, Loye Savva. So this is a Antadipak. It is applicable to previous four post also. Okay, so salutation to all the Aryantas of the world. So in English, the translation is already there, all the Aryantas of the world. And that was Namo Loye. So that Lok me is already included in this world, you know. So salutations to all the Aryantas of the world, Siddhas of the world, Acharyas of the world, Upadhyas of the world, and Sadhus of the world. So these 5 posts, you know, these are the 5 posts. These are the 5 people or the 5 posts which have manifested partial passionlessness. Vitrag Vigyanta. Okay. So Sadhu, Acharyas and Upadhyas, they have manifested partial Vitrag Vigyanta, partial passionlessness state, and Aryant and Siddh have attained complete Vitragda, complete passionless state. Okay. So this is the reason why they are being praised, why they are being respected. Okay. The next question that comes in mind is why the name of the Aryant is first? Because Siddh are the liberated soul. Aryant do have body. Aryantas do have aghati karmas with them. Okay. But Siddh Parmeshti have destroyed everything. Dravya karma, bhav karma, no karma, everything. And they got liberated. So if you see the post wise, they have done everything that is to be done. Okay. So technically they are the most senior one. And Aryant one comes next. But in the Namokar mantra, Aryant's name is appearing as the first one. Can anybody give a reason to that? Who would try? If you can put on your videos on, you know, maybe next time, not from this time, but next time, then I can, you know, make out from the faces also, you know, how much you have understand, or this needs to be further diluted, you know. So, and also I will feel that I'm talking to somebody. So, keep your videos on from next time. Today, it's okay. So my question was why Aryantas are being written in the first step, you know, and why the name of Siddhas are appearing as the second one. Yeah, who has raised this hand? Go ahead, just unmute yourself and speak, you know.
Is it because Arihants they've given Samosaran?
You are nearby, but not the right answer.
Because they are the ones who have come out of the 4 ghati karmas.
No. Because they are serving our purpose. It is through their divine sound that we have come to know about this knowledge. Otherwise, we would not have known. because Siddh Parmeshti doesn't speak only. So we don't get any benefit out of Siddh Parmeshtis. But because of Aryant Parmeshtis, we are getting all the sermons, and through these sermons, the scriptures have been written. And because of the scriptures, we are gaining the knowledge. So in this manner, Aryant are more helpful to us than the Siddh Parmeshtis. So we are reciting Aryant's name as the first one. Okay. So this is the logic. There is a story.
Sorry, sir. Hello.
Yeah.
So sorry, sir. I didn't get that. Can you please repeat?
So because of this Tirthankar's divine sound in the holy assembly, in the Samosaran, okay, and through that sound, we are getting this knowledge. Our Jinvani is what? Jinendra Bhagwan ki Vani. And Jinendra Bhagwan ki Vani is Divya Dhvani, Omkarmayi Divya Dhvani. And there's because of this Omkar Dhvani, we are able to know what the everything in Jinvani is through that only. So we are able to know who we are, Otherwise, who would have told us that you are soul, you are not body? Because from time immortal, we have been knowing, believing that we are the body ones. The body takes birth and the body dies. But because of this Jinvani, we know what is our true nature, why we have been suffering from different kinds of miseries since time immortal, and what is the way out, how we can get rid of this all miseries, we can get rid of this birth and death, all these techniques are just we are getting through this Jinvani, and this Jinvani is nothing but Aryant Bhagwan's Vani. So that way our purpose is getting solved through Aryant Parmeshti, and Siddh Parmeshti doesn't have a body. So there is no question of them giving us any advice or sermons. Okay. So that's why for us, Aryant Bhagwan comes first. So that's why we have put in as Namo Aryantanam. So this is the logic. So I was just reciting one story in between this question came up. I hope you have got your answer.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. So how do you know who was talking? Okay, now I can see the. Okay, so there was a story in the Prathman Yog, in the life, in the autobiography of Jivandar Kumar. Jivandar Kumar was a king, and like one day he was passing through the woods, and a dog got injured or something like that. He was on the verge of dying, So Jivandar Kumar went to him and recited Namokar mantra in his ear. And because of that act, and because of the auspicious karma that he bound, that dog got birth in as a heavenly being, So this Namokar mantra is very powerful. It has got multiple benefits, and that's why we begin our day with Namokar mantra. We end our day with Namokar mantra. We begin our any auspicious, work with this Namokar mantra. Even when we buy a new house, we do Namokar mantras jap, and so and so thing. So this Namokar mantra has got great powers, and this is one of the most, we can say, any Jain, Jain, even by the name of Jain also, is knowing this mantra and reciting on a day-to-day basis every day. So this is the first part paragraph. Now the next paragraph. Eso pancha namo yaro savva pava panasano manglanancha sarvesim padamam hoi mangalam. So I would like somebody, Amit ji, you read from the beginning. From Namo Aryantanam you start and you read the whole chapter, and then I will explain the last two paragraphs.
Hello.
Yeah.
I'm audible.
Yeah.
So what is in the screen? No.
Yeah.
Namo Aryantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Aryanam, Namo Vajanam, Namo Loy Savva Savanam. Salutation. Eso Panch Namokaro, Savva Pava Panasano, Manglaranche Savvesing, Padamam Havaimam. This Panch Navakar mantra, destroy all sins, is the first benediction of all the benediction. This mantra destroys the delusion, attachment, and aversion and lead to right knowledge. The Anantas and the Siddhas, the Acharyas, the Upadhyas, and the Sadhus are called the five Paramistis. That is the five supremely adored beings. The person who knows these five Paramistis and the thread path shown by them are definitely attain real happiness.
So the first line says that this Pancha Namaskar mantra destroys all sins. So my question is, if I do some sinful activity now, and then I recite Namokar mantra in the evening, so the whatever I have done since throughout the day will get destroyed?
No, they will just keep adding to your karma.
So here it is written like this, ki this Panch Namokar mantra destroys all sins and is the first benediction of all the benedictions. What does this mean?
Hopefully
Anybody?
it should. Hopefully karma की निर्जरा तो कभी भी हो सकती है ना.
कभी भी हो सकती है, लेकिन फिर लोग पाप करने से क्यों रुकेंगे? सब लोग ऐसे ही करेंगे, पाप करेंगे और फिर नमस्कार मंत्र बोल देंगे.
Eso Panch Namo Yaro means the Namokar mantra is like that. If we follow it thoroughly, then we can destroy all our sins. But first we have to follow it. We have to salute and become like one.
Okay, good idea. Anyone else would like to share?
मैंने जो समझा है लाइक वो पाप पूरे खत्म नहीं करता है, बट जो पाप है उसका मे बी इफेक्ट कम कर सकता है. लाइक अगर नमो का मंत्र जाप करने से, अगर सपोज फॉर एग्जांपल हमारा 10,000 रुपीस का लॉस होने वाला है, नवकार मंत्र जपते हो लॉस तो होगा, बट वो 1,000 रुपीस का होगा या 100 रुपए का होगा शायद. वो मेरे को समझा है, मे बी आई मे बी रॉन्ग आल्सो, आई एम सॉरी.
No, but it's a good try, Trying is more important than getting it correct, So once you try, and if I give you now the answer, you will remember it forever because you have already tried, you have thought on those things. Anyone wants to share? Otherwise, I will give the right answer.
Yeah, I wanted to try. Oh, wait, you can go first.
Yeah. Jia ji.
Yeah, saying that Namokar mantra destroys paap in the present moment and not your past paap.
Oh, very good. This is the correct answer. That all sins means that when you are chanting this mantra, you are not involved in any of the sinful activities. So it means it destroys all sins for the present moment only. It is not that your past karmas will get nirjara or your past karmas, it will reduce the effect. No, it is nothing like that. It is just an auspicious thought. It is just an auspicious manifestation. And while you manifest that, you bound auspicious karma. That is true, but there is no nirjara, or it does not reduce you also. So this Panch Namakar mantra destroys all sins. All sins means present, in the present moment, you are not involved. And is the first benediction of all the benedictions. So benedictions means Mangal. Okay. Now, what do you mean by Mangal?
So
So,
sorry, so I want to ask, does it
uh,
mean that it will never add on to your karmas if you just recite the Navkar mantra?
so it's as I said, it is binding auspicious karma. So it's a kind of Shubh Bhav. So there are Ashubh Bhav, okay, inauspicious, Ashubh Bhav binds inauspicious karma. So your idea of watching a movie is binding inauspicious karma. Okay, any sensory objects you get involved in binds inauspicious karma. पाप का कर्म बंद होता है. But when you get into, going to the temple, reciting Namokar mantra, doing swadhyay, donating, giving donations, and doing vows, and getting into penance, tap, and any other activity which is conducive to path of liberation, all these are auspicious. All these activities are binding auspicious karma. So this Namokar mantra, when you recite, is binding auspicious karma. But conventionally, we can say, from the conventional point of view, we can say this auspicious karma destroys sins, like that. बच्चों को बच्चों की भाषा में समझाया जाता है. So even like if a kid is born in our family, after 40 days, in fact, the moment it is born, the parents always recite Namokar mantra, and whoever comes also recites Namokar mantra, that is in the first day itself. But after 40 days, he is officially taken to a temple for the first time. And there is a celebration for that. There are some vidhis, there is some process that is to be followed when he goes to the temple for the first time. And since then, he gets connected to the mandir. Then every day, it is the parents' responsibility to take them to the temple for Dev Darshan, So up to the age of 8, it is said that it is the parents' responsibility to get the kids involved in religion, up to the 8 years. And then, of course, after 8 years, he is quite sensible and grown up, so he can also go on his own, or can just motivate him to go. So we were talking about benediction. Benediction means Mangal. So this Mangal is better explained in the next chapter, but since the word has come here, we are anyways understanding its meaning right now, so that we don't have to do it again in the next chapter. So Mangal means, if you break it in Hindi, it is Mam plus Gal. Put together is Mangal. So Mam is what? Mam is Pap. Okay. And Gal means नष्ट करता है, गलता है, गालता है, गलता है, गलता है, dilutes. It gets diluted. So the pap gets diluted, or the pap gets destroyed. And there is another meaning of Mangal, that is Mang plus La. So Mang is Sukh, and La means Lata hai, Deta hai. So ये Mangal means जो पाप दूर करता है, ओके, और जो सुख लाता है उसको कहते हैं मंगल. So here it is written, ऐसा पंचनमो यारो सव पांव पणासणो मंगलाणम च सव्वेसिम padamam hoye mangalam. So it is the first benediction. You are asking something, Roshni ji? Who is asking? Okay, no questions. So 1 minute, I will mute. Yeah. Okay. Now you are all muted. I think co-host can mute people, no? So if someone mistakenly gets unmuted, then please mute them, because sometimes the background noise comes, so it gets very disturbing to others. So the word Mangal in Hindi has got two meanings. One is mam plus gal. Mam means pap, gal means nast karta hai. The other one is mang plus la. So mang is sukh, la means lata hai. So it is doing two things. On one side, the sins are getting destroyed, and on the other side, it brings happiness. So it is serving our purpose, you know. So it is Mangal. So this is the first Mangal among all the Mangals. So there are other Mangals which we are going to study in the next chapter, but this is the first and the foremost. This mantra destroys delusion, attachment, and aversions, okay, and leads to right knowledge. Again, this is a conventional statement. What do you mean by this? This mantra destroys delusion. It's written very clearly. Then it means that if you follow the path as shown by them, then your delusion, attachment, and aversions will get destroyed, and you will get the right knowledge. This means that, okay? So it's written here that this mantra destroys, but we need to understand in this way that if we follow the path as shown by these 5 parmestis and tread on that path, then our delusion, attachment, and aversion will get destroyed, and this will lead to right knowledge. The next paragraph, the Aryanta, the Siddhas, Acharyas, Upadhyayas, and Sadhus are called 5 parmestis, 5 supremely adored beings, Pujya, okay? Param Padme East. So these are the 5 posts which have been achieved by these people. The person who knows these 5 parmestis, okay, who knows these 5 parmestis means who know the true nature of each parmestis that we are going to study in Balbodh 3. What is the true nature of each parmestis? Who is a Aryan? What are his qualities? Who is a Siddh Bhagwan? What are his qualities? What are the qualities of Acharyas, Upadhyas, and Sadhu? What are their functions? Everything you are going to study, but you have to wait for a few days. But now, here it is written that the person who knows these 5 parmestis, means who know the real nature of these 5 parmestis and treats the path shown by them. Okay. So this path has been shown by them in the form of these books that we are getting. Okay. The scriptural knowledge, the scriptural texts that we have access to, all these are being written by them. So they are showing us this path through these books. The Aryant may not be here right now because this is the 5th era, but just we discussed about the monks. The monks can be there, and we can very well get the knowledge directly from them also. but you have to find out. So this is all about Namokar mantra. I don't think anything is left over. This is a complete, you can say, knowledge about the importance of a Namokar mantra, and this is sufficient for us. Now, moving on to the next chapter, the 4 Mangals, Chattari Mangalam. Chattari
Hello.
means 4. Yeah,
Sir, I have one question.
yeah. Parth.
So many times,
Yeah.
yes, sir. So many times I've seen in places only the first 5 lines of this mantra have been written, and from Eso Panchanamo Kara is not mentioned. So what is the exact significance, and how do we recite it as a whole or only the first 5 lines?
So ideally, we should recite the whole, but there is always a shortcut. So people recite this, the first part only. And, you know, there is this word Om. Om. Omkar, you know. In that Om also, these 5 parmestis are included. So, as I said, this is a Maha Mantra, all the other mantras are derived from it. So there are many shortcuts on this that we will study later on. When we study Dravya Sangra, there are special gathas on this, that what can be derived from a Namokar mantra. So, as you wish, you can have the full version recitation also, and you can just Namokar mantra 5. Generally, we do this Namokar mantra, the first 5 stanzas only, the first 5 lines only.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so we move on to the next chapter, the 4 Mangalams. Yeah.
Excuse me, just a second. The second stanza, word by word, if you can translate what it means so that we can understand. The second stanza.
The second stanza, Asa Pancha Namo Yaro, right?
Yeah.
So Namo Yaro means Namo Karo. Namokar mantra is Pancha means 5, and Eso means like this. Okay. Savva Pao Panasno. So all the sins are being destroyed. Sab papo ka nash karne wala hai. Manglanam cha savesim. सब मंगलों में ये सब मंगलों में पदमम होई मंगलम, पहला यह मंगल है. So this is the literal translation of this second stanza.
Thanks.
Okay, so now we move to the next chapter. Exactly, we have 28 minutes left for today's class, and we will complete this chapter. 4 Mangals. So, Darshana ji, can you read that whole chapter? It is again few paragraphs only. So Darshana ji, I think, is not able to unmute herself, or she is not online. Roshni ji.
Ha. Chattari Mangalam, Arihanta Mangalam, Titta Mangalam, Sahu Mangalam, Kevali Pannato Dhammo Mangalam. Should I continue?
Yes, complete.
Chattari Sharanam Pavachami, Arihante Sharanam Pavachami, Sitte Sharanam Pavachami, Sahu Sharanam Pavachami, Kevali Pannatam Tamam Saranam Pavachami. There are 4 benefactors in the world. The Arihant is a benefactor. The Siddha is a benefactor. The Sadhu or the Acharya, the Upadhyay, and the Sadhu is a benefactor. And the religion of non-attachment preached by an omniscient being is a benefactor. A benefactor is that which removes sins, delusion, attachment, and aversion, and brings real happiness. The 5 Parmeshtis are themselves embodiment of benefaction and devotion to them brings supreme happiness. There are 4 supreme entities in the world. The Arihanta is a supreme entity. The Siddha is a supreme entity. The Sadhu or the Acharya, the Upadhyay, and the Sadhu is a supreme entity. And the religion of non-attachment preached by an omniscient being is a supreme entity. One who is the greatest in the world is called supreme. These 4 are the greatest in the world, and so they are supreme entities. I go to all the 4 for my abode. I go to the Arihantas for my abode. I go to the Siddhas for my abode. I go to the Sadhus, the Acharyas, Upadhyayas, and Sadhus for my abode. And I go to the religion of non-attachment preached by an omniscient being for my abode. Abode means shelter. Shelter in the 5 Parmeshtis means following the path shown by them and taking refuge in one's soul. The person who takes refuge in the 5 Parmeshtis obtains bliss and becomes free from all the miseries and the cycle of births and deaths in the world.
Thank you. So,
Thank you.
so there are 4 benefactors in the world. So just now we read about 5 Parmeshtis and now 1 has been reduced. Is it so? In Namokar mantra, we were offering our salutation to 5 posts, and here
And Acharya have been concluded as Sahu in this.
Sadhu only
Ah.
both of them are included.
right. So the 5 Parmeshtis are still there. It has not, 1 has not been reduced, but 1 has been added. And what has been added is
Easily.
religion. Okay, the religion of non-attachment preached by an omniscient. Okay, so this has been added. So under the sadhu, okay, sahu, under the sadhu, acharya, upadhyay, and sadhu, all 3 are included. Okay, so Chattari Mangalam means 4 Mangals are there. Aryanta Mangalam, Siddha Mangalam, Sahu Mangalam. These are 3. Kevli Panatto Dhammo Mangalam. So, the religion of non-attachment or the religion of passionlessness. Okay. This is being preached by an omniscient is the 4th one. So 5 in the first 3, the 4 Parmeshtis, the 5 Parmeshtis, and the next one is the religion of non-attachment. So these 4 are benefactor. Again, benefactor, the one which removes our misery and the one that gets our happiness is benefactor. Okay. So these 4 are benefactors in the world. Okay. Now, what is a benefactor is given here. A benefactor is that which removes sins. Okay. In sins, they have included delusion, attachment, and aversions. So delusion is considered to be the father of all the sins. Just now we studied about 5 sins. The names of the 5 sins: hinsa, jhoot, chori, kushil, parigrah. But this delusion, mithyatva, ये पाप का भी बाप है, father of all the sinful activities, mithyata. Because under the influence of delusion, we indulge in all kinds of sinful activities. So delusion is the number 1 sin. So a benefactor is that which removes sins and brings real happiness. So real happiness is not the happiness that you get from sensory objects. Okay. Real happiness means atindriya anand, eternal bliss. The five parametres are themselves embodiment. Embodiment means avatar of benefaction. So they are themselves embodiment of benefaction and devotion to them. Devotion is bhakti bhav. तो ये लोग स्वयं मंगलमय हैं और इनमें भक्ति भाव and devotion to them brings supreme happiness. Okay. Supreme happiness means param mangal, param anand. So there are four supreme entities in the world. So there are three words which are important in these chapters. One is the supreme. The next one is the 1 minute. So one is the benefactor, supreme, and the abode or shelter. So a benefactor we already have studied. Now we are studying about the supreme entities. So these are the only four supreme entities. And who is a supreme entity? Entity means the one which exists. Okay. And supreme means sarvotkruষ্ট. Okay. Param. Supreme means param. So one who is the greatest and most glorious in the world is called supreme. These four are the greatest in the world, and so they are supreme entities. So these four are benefactors, these four are supreme, and these four are worth taking shelter. That is coming in the next paragraph. I go to all the four for my abode. I go to the Aryantas for my abode. I go to the Siddhas for my abode. I go to the Sadhus for my abode. And in the Sadhus, that is Acharyas, Upadhyas, and the Sadhus included in that, I go to the religion of non-attachment. So our religion is non-attachment. Non-attachment means not manifesting either attachment or aversion. Okay. So if you consider something to be beneficial to you, you develop a feeling of attachment to that. And if you consider something to be not beneficial to you, to be detrimental to you, then you develop a feeling of aversion to them. So either it is attachment or aversion, it is both binding you karmas. But our religion releases the karmas. So the religion must be devoid of attachment and aversion. And that is passionless state. Okay. Please zoom the text. Yeah, thank you. So, what we were discussing? So, what is this religion? Okay, so this religion is a modification. Okay, it's a state manifested in our soul itself, and in that state you are manifesting passionless state. So there is no attachments, no aversions. So when an attachment and aversions is not manifested, it is called passionless state. Okay. So when you see something and if you don't react and absorb it, then you are manifesting passionless state. Okay. So जब राग और द्वेष नहीं होता है तो वीतरागता होती है, and this vitragta is passionlessness is vitragta. Okay. So religion of non-attachment preached by an omniscient is the benefactor, is the supreme, and is the abode. Okay. It is shelter to me. Abode means shelter. Shelter in the five parmestities means following the path shown by them and taking refuge in one's own soul. Okay. So again, we are into that we have to follow the path shown by them. That means we have taken shelter. Okay.
Sir, taking refuge in one's own soul means
your active consciousness, which has been involved in external objects, transform from there towards your soul. Okay. So when you transform that active consciousness from external objects towards your soul, and that is called taking shelter. आश्रय लेना, शरण लेना, शरण लेना, आश्रय लेना, उसका लक्ष्य करना is all the same thing. Okay. So the person who takes refuges in the five parmestities obtain bliss and becomes free from all miseries. So that's what we wanted in the first place. We wanted to remove all miseries and we want to obtain bliss. And that is what we can achieve by following the path shown by these four parmestities and taking shelter in our own soul. Okay. So the active consciousness or the upyog, which was involved in the five sensory objects, now taking out that upyog from there and put it into our soul, from outbound to inbound. This transformation, if we can affect that transformation, then we can take shelter in our soul, and we can take shelter in our soul means we can experience ourselves, and that is the starting point of the path of liberation. Okay. So this has got this meaning. So these four are the benefactors for us. These four are the supreme entities for us. And these four are worth taking shelter for us. And if we do that, if we are able to do that, then all our miseries will be removed, and we will attain eternal bliss. We will experience eternal bliss, and ultimately this is going to stop our cycle of birth and death in this world. That means we will get liberated. Okay. So the soul has been taking birth from one species to another species since time immortal, and has been suffering different kind of miseries in all these four state of existence. Okay. Whether he becomes a human, whether he becomes a subhuman. Subhuman means tiryanch gati, and in that tiryanch gati, it is not the animals, it is the plants also that are being covered under that category. So human, subhuman, heavenly being, hellish being. Heavenly being means Devlok, Swarg, and hellish being means Narak. So the kind of activities that you do in this birth, you bound such karmas, and that karmas, when comes into fruition, you have to take birth into those kind of state of existence. Okay. So this cycle of life and birth, life and birth, life and birth has been going on since time immortal. And in all the four stages of existence, there are miseries everywhere. So it is better to get out of this cycle of miseries, to get out of this four types of existence. Okay. So what is the remedy? So the remedy is given in the last paragraph. Okay, when we take shelter in ourselves, okay, we initially get self-realization or self-experience, and then from there the path of liberation begins, and gradually we move ahead in the spiritual stages of development, and ultimately we get liberated. So this is all that we want from this Parmestes. This Parmestes teaches us this path of liberation, and following that path, we can also get liberated. So this is the takeaway that we get from these first two chapters. And this path that has been enumerated by this Parmestes are, put into words, or there are four ways, of depicting this path of liberation. And these four ways are, first one is Pratman Yog, then we have Charnan Yog, then we have Karnan Yog, and then we have Dravyan Yog. So these are the four different styles, of depicting the same path of liberation. And these are the different styles, and these have a different purpose, for this four types of exposition. Char Anuyog exposition. There are four types of exposition. The exposition on great persons like Tirthankars and other Shalaka Purus is called Pratman Yoga. The exposition on the conduct of a monk and the conduct of a householder is what depicted in Charnan Yoga. The exposition on technical matters, the exposition on karmas, on different types of souls, and about description about the three worlds, is all that is constituted in Karnan Yoga. And the last one is Dravyan Yoga, where the true nature of 6 substances, then the true nature of 7 elements. It is also called metaphysics. Dravyan Yoga is metaphysics. Dravyan Yoga states about the nature of substances, So Dravyan Yoga teaches us how to practice descriptive knowledge. So these are 4 different style of exposition. We will be learning about this further in Vitrag Vigyan. But the whole path shown by the Panch Parmestes are through these 4 exposition. And each exposition has its unique style of presenting the path of liberation. And the ultimate objective of each of the 4 exposition is passionlessness state. And that is the true religion. So we will be studying about all the 4 exposition in the Vitrag Vigyan when we come up to Vitrag Vigyan. And then you will realize that we have got instructions from these Panch Parmestis in the format of 4 exposition. So they will teach us something from Pratman Yoga, they will teach us something from Charnan Yoga, they will teach us something from Karnan Yoga also, from Karma theories also they will teach us something, and they will teach us something from Dravyan Yoga also. So if we are able to understand this 4 exposition, 4 different styles, but the message is same, how to manifest passionlessness state. So that is the ultimate objective of each of exposition. And that is the path shown us by the Panch Parmesti. So if we are able to understand this path shown by them and we walk on that path, we will also achieve this 5 posts and ultimately get liberated. So these 2 chapters inspired us because these Panch Parmestis were us like, they were just people like us. They were not some special people, you know. They were just people like us, and they studied the scriptural studies, you know, the scripturals. And through this knowledge, they acquired this knowledge, they upgraded their knowledge, and they become a learned people from an ignorant one. And we will also be studying these scriptures and concepts, and we will also become a learned one. And once we become a learned one, our path of liberation begins. And when we walk on this path of liberation and get liberated completely, you know, from all types of karmas. So such a nice concept, such a nice access to this kind of knowledge, you know, is our sheer luck. And if we put in efforts in the right direction, as told by our Parmestis, we will also get liberated. So this is all about these 2 chapters. Next class, we will begin from next class. You can all upload, or no, you can all download Balbodh 1, 2, 3 on your own. So if you are not able to read from the screen, you can also see from your own laptop. Okay, or you want to refer something else also then. So you should download this 3 Balbodh 1, 2, 3, and then we will move to one chapter of the other. Okay, so there are 8 chapters in Balbodh 1, similar kind of in Balbodh 2 and 3. I think in 3 it is more around 10. So all these are very simple chapters, but nevertheless we will study one by one and we will be completing it. So we have some new faces this time and some old faces are not there. But anyways, these things will happen. So we have few minutes. Those who are attending this for the first time, can you introduce yourself? So I think Labdi ji, you are coming. You are attending the first time, or you were there last time?
No, I'm attending first time only.
So you introduce yourself. From which city you are in? What is your academic? What is your academic background? And what is that you have turned, that you have studied in terms of religion?
Jai Jendra, myself is Labdhi Vora. I come from Chennai, and I just completed my 12th standard last year. So I'm repeating 1 year for medical preparation, NEET exam. So next year I'll write my exam. So I am a NEET aspirant basically, and I came to know about Parmagam classes because my mom is in Parmagam. She completed her last year also, I guess.
Bharti ji Vora, right?
So yeah,
So
yeah.
she is my student.
I'm her daughter.
So they are, so
Yeah.
they are into last semester now. They have not completed,
Okay, yeah.
but they're
Oh,
into
sorry,
last.
sorry, I don't know.
So she also doesn't know
So
Hindi, and she also prefers to study in English, right?
yeah, but I know Hindi. I can read and write very well only. I know
Oh, okay.
Gujarati and Hindi also, but
Okay,
English will be very nicely comfortable to write
Oh,
exams and all. So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
why I chose English.
You can write in any language. So nice to hear
Okay.
about Labdi ji, Labdi Vora. Next is Jia Doshi.
Hi, yes, my name is Jia Doshi. I'm from Mumbai, but I'm staying near Chennai. Actually, I'm in my third year for university. I'm studying psychology. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, and I'm Apurva Doshi's daughter. Yeah,
oh, so nice.
I
So
was
we have, so nice. Your face resembles Apurva ji's right now. Now I can make out. So nice to see that youngsters getting into this kind of studies. It's really a surprise, and the pickup hour is at the maximum right now. So you can grasp it also very nicely, and you will have a very happy life going forward. So we have one student, Shraddha Sheth, in my that other batch, 2019 batch. She is just about to graduate. She is also a student in psychology, and I think she has now gone abroad for further studies. So she already graduated from, she's basically from Rajkot, but she studied in Mumbai, Mithibai only. But she was also very good in religious studies also. All her answers were very to the point, and I used to enjoy reading his question papers, So that's very good. Shubhangani ji, you have also joined for the first time today. Unmute yourself.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
No, I've been in the class before also.
Okay, so you have been introduced. Who else is there joining for the first time? Janvi ji, you were not there?
Darshana,
Okay,
Darshana Sangrajka.
okay.
So I am a housewife from Mumbai, and I'm very grateful for this opportunity to learn Jai Jinendra.
Yeah, thank
And
you.
thank you so much, sir. It's been enlightening.
Okay,
And Smita ji Turakhya, she gave the link
okay.
from.
So, what is your academic background?
So I am a graduate in economics and mathematics.
Mhm.
But many years ago, I'm a housewife.
Okay, fine. So good to have you in this class. And who else? I think more or less we have covered everyone. Okay.
So I
So,
think Karan is
I am Lec.
okay. So why don't you
I've joined
introduce?
it.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
problem.
my name is Karan Shah. So
Uh-huh.
I'm a postgraduate from Commerce.
Okay.
I'm from Mumbai. So I was introduced to this Parmagam program by my fiance Janvi. We are getting engaged
Right.
next week.
So
So I was introduced to this.
Mukesh ji was also supposed to join today.
Yes,
He is
insisted.
listening. He is listening.
Okay. Fine. So he's getting through YouTube live. He's
Yeah,
listening.
he's doing it. He's sitting next to me also.
Okay. Okay. So we have a long, we know each other since maybe 23 years now. So nice to all the youngsters joining this course is a great sign, and this is the legacy that we have received from our Tirthankars, and this is the legacy that we will pass on to the new generations. So future is the youngsters, and with your good grasping power, you can, easily understand this concept, and you can also apply it in your day-to-day life, and you can experience happiness in all kinds of situations. So this is the ultimate knowledge that we want, and all other knowledges are going to remain here only. Even if it's a great doctor, but when he dies and he moves on to the next birth, that doctorate doesn't come with him. But this knowledge of soul science, the knowledge about your own soul, it carries with you, and you carry it into the next birth also. And in 3-4 births, those who are getting connected to this kind of knowledge right now in this, we can say, the 5th era, they are the very lucky ones, and they are the ones who makes in great efforts, and they attain liberation very fast, maybe in 2-3 births only. So we will all get liberated, and we will all meet up in salvation. That is our permanent abode. That is our head office. And this is not something that we wish to be here, but this is because of karma. We are here, but we are going to get better of the karmas. We are going to destroy all the karmas, all types of karmas, bhav karma, dravya karma, nav karma, all types of karmas. So this is the ultimate challenge that we have taken up, and we are going to fight, and we are going to win. This is the last line that we want to end on, and we will meet up next week. So
Thank you, sir.
Shrajanji, may I ask one question before we end?
Yeah.
When we seek abode in our own souls,
Mhm.
do we need our 5 senses? So
No.
are our 5 senses required?
So these 5 senses and this body, okay, these are a separate entity altogether. Just as a robot is programmed and it performs different duties, similarly, our body is just like a robot. It is doing different activities which are not in our hands. Okay, we are not controlling this robot. This is happening independently, and we as a soul are observer independently. Okay, so soul and body are 2 different entities. This is not the one entity. Okay, but because of our ignorance, we have been believing that body is mine, but actually it is not mine. So this 5 senses is not that something we enjoy. Okay, so these 5 senses belong to the body, and we are soul, pure soul. Okay, and we have innumerable qualities in us, and with this knowledge we will be able to unlock those innumerable qualities, infinite qualities that we possess, and we will be experiencing those qualities. So it is like we are having a treasure, but we don't have the key. So we are just behaving like a beggar from the 5 senses, that give me happiness, give me happiness, give me happiness. And they don't have happiness, so they don't give us happiness. And we are just changing objects, one object to another object, another object to another object, but we never get a satisfaction because there is not a quality of happiness in them. That is the first thing. The second thing is we are ourselves possessing infinite qualities, and with this knowledge, we will be able to unlock all those qualities, and we will be able to experience those qualities in our manifestations. Okay, so it is, you are the boss, you are the boss of these infinite qualities. But since we don't know our true identity, we are believing that we will get happiness from here, we will get happiness from here. But that is the fight that we have to do. Because of delusion, we are believing like this. And if we get rid of delusion, we will know our true identity. Okay. So identifying our true identity and then concentrating on them is the only path of true liberation. So as we understand new concept, we will get clarity on our soul. Okay, and we will get clarity on how to practice this descriptive knowledge, and by practicing this descriptive knowledge, we can, in the same situation, we will be able to experience happiness. The situation will demand that you have to do anger, but the anger will not rise itself, because if you have understood this concept. So this will be a gradual process, but I can assure you that by the end of 2 years, you will have clarity on all the fundamentals, So there are something in the first semester, something will come into second semester. And by the end of 2 years, you will have every clarity on all the concepts. And then we will start studying about how to apply those in our day-to-day life. Okay, so we will be studying scriptures then in the last 3 years. So we'll hopefully we will get all the good things in our life. Yeah, anything else? Any other questions that you want to ask?
So can you know the topic for the next class so that we can just start reading?
So this Balbodh, we have begun with Balbodh part 1. So we have done first 2 chapters. From 3rd onwards, we will take it sequentially. Okay. 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, like that only will go.
Thank you.
So you can download the books also.
Yes, so we have the PDFs.
Yeah, okay. And maybe today or tomorrow we'll be sharing you the ordering forms, book ordering forms, so that also you order the books. So you will receive it by next week. Okay. Thank you so much all for attending this live. And we should encourage all other students also to encourage, attend live, because it always makes a difference when you attend live. So anyways. So we'll have Stuti. निज निधि निज में पताई, यह अनंत उपकार है उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है, उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है। 9 बार नौकार मंत्र गिनेंगे। जय जिनेन्द्र।